Good morning, everyone. How are we today? Okay. Okay. I always have such a good time getting the Facebook going. We're going to do some lovely quesadillas today. And so we'll go over some of the ingredients and things. And I started cutting my onion for other things, and onions are just so great. You know, they're anti-inflammatory, they're antimicrobial, they're really, really good, you know, for keeping your immune system strong. Just so many really great things about onions. And oh yeah, did I say antihistamine? Good morning, Darlene. Nice to see you. Yeah, so we're working with our antihistamine onions here. And so we're going to chop these guys up. Let me see. How do I want to do that? I think I'm going to do it like this. So yeah, however you want to do it. Just going to chop up some onions and try and make these guys as healthy as possible. So yeah, it's been a really interesting week. All the different things going on in the world. So hopefully everybody is keeping well. I'm just looking to see. Yes, good Friday morning, that's for sure. I can't believe it's Friday already. Okay, so I'm gonna get these guys on high. So I had some comments. I love to get the comments for the Facebook Live because it's just so much fun. You know, we get together on here and share comments and information and recipes and different things about food. And so with the Facebook Live, it's pretty casual. I do have a couple hundred videos on my YouTube channel that are just a little bit more professional and have real recipes on them. So for anybody new, you can check that out. But for the Facebook, yeah, I had some questions or comments the other day, and it was somebody asked why I cook in a bowl all the time. And so I never really thought of that. I mean, I did think of it when I first started the Facebook that, you know, what would be the good thing? And I have a stainless steel frying pan, and I'll move this a little bit closer so you can see it. And so I was using that at the beginning, and then what I realized was sitting down, because of the way my camera setup is and the space that I'm working in, because I'm sitting down, I tended to throw things out of the frying pan all the time. And so when I was stirring it, things would go flying. And so I came up with the idea of the stainless steel wok, which is awesome because it holds the food in there so that I can give it a really good stir so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And it basically cooks up like a frying pan. So yeah, so it was an interesting comment because I never really thought about that I'm not just walking every day with my wok. I'm actually using it as a frying pan. And sometimes I do use a frying pan too. It all depends on what, you know, I use the frying pan pretty often actually on my real stove. But for this, it seems to work really well for me to be able to make pretty much anything. Soup, stir fries, you know, we've made all kinds of things in this, and it works really well because you guys can see in it really well, and I'm not going over the edges as much. So yeah, so we're adding some mushrooms, we're adding some garlic. The mushrooms, most mushrooms have selenium in them, and so these are just simple little criminies, you know, nothing too fancy about them. But I always do like to add a little extra to each of the recipes. You know, you might as well make them as healthy as possible. So while we're adding really good things like the onions with the anti-inflammatory properties and the garlic with the antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal properties, and and these little criminies with their selenium. And so I am going to add some additional mushrooms. Also because they just cook down so much, right? They really cook down. And so I am going to add a few of the shiitake mushrooms. So the shiitakes are specifically antiviral, good for the immune system. They are, for everybody that's been on here, they've heard me say it a million times. You must be able to do this for me, because you heard me say it so many times. But I love adding the shiitakes because it really is important to incorporate all of the antiviral things that you can into your diet and into your food. And the shiitakes are so handy. They're really inexpensive. You can buy them fresh at almost any store. And these ones are dried. You can get these and they just last forever. But what I do find is that when they're dried, they're quite chewy. And I find the stems a little too chewy to add to the food. So I save the stems and I put them in my tea. So that you're still getting those antiviral benefits and the benefits from the shiitakes. So I'm not wasting the stems. And yeah, and they're just so good for you. Antiviral, they've been used in research for things like HIV and, oh my gosh, they've been used for cholesterol, all different kinds of things. And just looking here, I like to have everything all around me so that I can easily see things that might be fun to add, like this nice piece of ginger. I'm going to just put him in the bottom. We'll take him out after, but I'll just put him right in the middle and let him get going. So I also have some of these lobster mushrooms, which are really good. We managed to pick these this summer, and they are so they were really prolific this year. Like, they were just everywhere. Those are super handy. And then we also picked the oyster mushrooms, which are awesome. The oysters are fantastic because they actually I have such a big pile of different things here. They actually detox the body. So they help to remove toxins. They help to cleanse. They're also antiviral as well. They just have so many benefits for the immune system. And so the oyster mushrooms are really, really good to add too. And I have also maitake mushrooms, which have been used in cancer research. Similar, these guys are kind of similar to the reishi mushroom, which is not an edible mushroom, it's a medicinal mushroom. And the reishi has been known for hundreds, well, thousands probably of years in China and Japan for anti-cancer and all of the, like, just used extensively. So the maitake is quite similar in that it has those immune system, has been used for anti-cancer. It's been used to balance blood sugar. Let me get that little piece of ginger in the bottom there. Ginger, so good for circulation, for it's also antifungal, antiviral, anti-everything. It's just super, super awesome. The ginger is a circulatory herb. You know, if you have swelling in your feet or edema or lack of circulation in your feet, you know, a couple of the things you can do is to add a lot of ginger to warm water and just soak your feet in that. It really helps to draw and detox as well as increase the circulation. The other thing that you can add, and we might as well add some in here, is the cayenne, which you guys know if you've been watching the Facebook much. I add cayenne to everything. I just love it. And so the cayenne is also a circulatory herb. So you could put that in the water that you're soaking your feet in too, and it really helps with the circulation. You know, kind of opens up the blood vessels to the feet. So it's really helpful that way. And yeah, so there are lots of antiviral, antifungal herbs. And actually I've been working on, like, I have my foot and hand salve that I make and I sell, and I'm so happy. I just recently opened up my Etsy store, so I'm excited about that. And selling some of the things like the foot and hand cream and the I call it back swab. back swab cream. It's a pain relieving cream. And you know, I've had such a interesting time on trying to name the formulas because Facebook has taken off my products because I'm not allowed to say things like pain relieving or, you know, any healthy anything really. So when I made the formula, the pain relieving salve, I put together specific herbs in it. So it's got bay leaf in it, it's got sage in it, it has wall lettuce for pain relieving, like wall lettuce has opioid pain relieving properties, and a bunch of other things. And so when I made the formula, I wanted to know specifically, because I make a lot of different formulas for people with like custom tinctures, custom teas, custom salves. And so this particular one, I wanted it to be like my overall pain relieving salve without calling it that, because there's like so many millions of, you know, pain relief salves out there. So I took the initials of the ingredients in it, the bay and the sage and the all the things, you know, like the black willow and the wall lettuce and arnica and stuff like that, and I played with the initials of each of the main ingredient herbs, and it kind of came out to be back swab. So I thought, well, that's kind of, you know, funny, because instead of back rub, back swab, and so it's kind of like a swab and a rub and a pain relieving formula. So anyways, I know it sounds funny, but it's nobody else is going to have it, and I don't think that Facebook would take it off with a name like that. I probably think it's pretty funny. So anyway, that's the name of my pain relieving formula, and that's how it came to be, is the back swab. But the foot and hand cream is just foot and hand cream, you know, so it's awesome and everything, but I didn't make any claims that it's going to take away any foot pain. However, I have been asked to do a specific formula for foot fungus, which I've been working on too, and not that I'm going to make any claims that it's going to help with that at all, but it'll be coming up next. So okay, so we're back to I'm going to add a little bit of broccoli to this. We're going to add a little bit of spinach. Getting a little distracted here. So what we want to do is make this a little bit creamy, but I'm going to, I don't want my vegetables too cooked, so I think I'm just going to put them in at the end. But because we're making a quesadilla, I want them fairly flat, so I'm going to chop them up more than I normally would, and then we'll just add them in at the end, the little broccoli and cauliflower, and you can add whatever you want, of course. You know, most quesadillas that I've had have, I mean, if you're lucky, they'll have spinach, but mostly they have cheese and salsa and you know, things like that, chicken and whatever. So so I'm just going to chop these up fairly fine to add, and then I'm going to throw the spinach in as well, which I have the spinach here. I'll just put it here so that you can see what the ingredients are going to be. And so I'm going to add a little bit of nutritional yeast for the cheesiness. I do, as you guys know, I do tend to stay away from dairy because I have a respiratory issue, and dairy is like the worst thing for your respiratory issue, any kind of respiratory congestion, that kind of thing. It just adds to it. So I'm going to use nutritional yeast, but nutritional yeast, I usually have it here. But I picked something up today. This is a nutritional yeast. So the nutritional yeast is so good. It's got like, it's got protein. It has vitamin B3, potassium, calcium. It even has some iron in it, which is good, and it has a super cheesy flavor. So we're going to add that for cheesy flavor, and I don't want to forget anything else. What else have I got here? I have a couple different, you know, just tortillas. I didn't run all over town to find the gluten-free So these are just like ancient grain, whole wheat tortillas, you know, whatever it is that you want to get. And where is, I had something else. Oh, we're dry. We're getting a little dry here, so we're gonna do this. And what you can do also to make it cheesy, like there's a few different ways of making a non-dairy cheese to go in these quesadillas. If you want to go with a little bit more of the nutritional yeast, and that reminds me, I love having everything right around me so I can see what's going on. Don't knock anything over. Add a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. Add some of that. I have the cayenne in there. If you want, you know, why not make it even healthier and bump up the nutrition and add a little bit of turmeric. So the turmeric's got the anti-inflammatory properties and the because of the curcumin. So it's also so good for the immune system. So turmeric's an awesome thing to add to whatever you don't mind turning orange. And it's just super, adds that much more to it, right? Makes it healthier. So we have our immune boosting mushrooms, our antiviral mushrooms, our anti-inflammatory onions. We have some of the cell detox mushrooms. So why not just add just a little bit of the dulse seaweed too? This is going to give us our trace minerals. And so we just really bumped this quesadilla into being like so super uber healthy. Plus we're going to add the vegetables. Oh yeah, so I was back to how to make this sauce cheesy. What you can do is, I might have a little bit too much water here. I'll pour some into my teacup. Just add a little bit of tapioca starch. You can add this to your nutritional yeast, and that will thicken it up as well. Oh, I seem to be running out of spoons here. So you know, pretty easy. You just add your tapioca starch. Not sure if that might be too much or not. But anyway, it's a basic roux. You guys know how to do all that. So it's, you know, you can use tapioca. I like tapioca starch better than cornstarch because I feel like we get enough corn in our diets, and corn is not really one of the, you know, we get so much corn in everything that we eat that anytime I can avoid corn, I do, so that I can eat it when I want to. Does that make sense? Like if I'm going to do corn, I like to do it in tortilla chips and popcorn. But it's just, you know, too much of anything is not good. And so I prefer to not use it when I don't need to, if that makes sense. So I can add a little bit of this tapioca starch to it too, just to thicken that up a little bit. So you can go with this for the cheesy flavor, and that works really, really good too. You can see how that's thickening up right away for your quesadilla. Now the other thing that I use sometimes, not too often, but in this case, you know, to make it more quesadilla-like, I did pick up the daiya plant-based cheese, and I'm not really crazy about daiya, but this is the only brand that I can find that actually has the shreds. That, you know, it works, right? It works for what we're doing for the for it to look and taste authentic. And the other thing I just found, I'm just going to give this a stir. See how fast that thickens up? So it's going to be really cheesy, like a cheese sauce for the quesadilla. The other, I'm going to shut this off now. The other thing I just picked up is this, and it's called Spread 'em Kitchen Company. And it's a cultured cashew soft cheese. Now, chives and garlic. I've never tried this before, but I thought, wow, you know, because I so seldom get any kind of a soft cheese or a cream cheese, or, you know, I just stay away from all that stuff. So, so I thought this would be really cool to try, so I'm looking forward to it. Having said that, it's cultured, right? So it is a plant-based, it says cultured, so I'm just gonna, I just bought it, so I haven't even really read. So it has cashews, and purified water, chives, garlic, nutritional yeast, lemon juice, sea salt. So it does have a bacterial culture. So when you have a bacterial culture, this is your probiotic, right? It's like the raw fermented sauerkraut that we did here, raw fermented sauerkraut and the fermented salsa. And so when you have something that is cultured or fermented, you don't want to put it in heat. right? So this could be something that you can spread over top of the quesadilla, maybe. I'll taste it and see what I think. But I thought this was a really cool, I'm excited to try that. But like I say, don't heat it up. So here you can see how nice and cheesy and thick this is, and I've turned it off. And then what I'm going to do is just add the rest of these vegetables. And then at the end, what we can do is just throw them right in there. Give it a stir. It's shut off. I don't want these guys cooked. I want the vegetables pretty raw. So you're getting your salad and your quesadilla. And then we can sprinkle the cheese on top. So I'm not going to put it in there because, you know, it would kind of disappear. And I am going to, all the vegetables stuck to my hand, I am going to give this a little bit of a taste just to see if I have enough before I put it in the quesadilla. And I had the spoon. There it is. Okay. Give the sauce a little taste. Forgot the garlic. That's what it was. Oh no, I did put garlic in, but I didn't put the garlic salt in. I mean, not garlic salt. I never use garlic salt. The garlic powder. And actually, it's right over there. So I can run and get that. And then as I'm looking, something else I noticed here, you can add all kinds of things if you wanted to you know, make it whatever flavor, or you know, you could add, I'm just looking at the cumin. You could add some cumin if you want. You could add paprika. You can add all kinds of different things. That would be really good too. So I am going to add a little more. This is granulated garlic because that's just extra goodness. And so we're going to give that a stir here. And there we go. Okay. So basically you're just going to do the thing. You're just going to put the quesadilla on here carefully without throwing it all over the floor. And this is like, seriously, oh, that may be too much. That is too much. This is one of the healthiest quesadillas. Okay, it's kind of spread around. All right, that's just about right. And like I said, add whatever you want. That's kind of lumpy. There's a big piece of ginger here, which would be perfect, but probably don't want it as a surprise. Okay, I'm going to spread this out. And then you want to make, I mean, for it to be a little bit traditional, you want to make space for the cheese to get in between everything. So you don't want it too high, although that one, this little cauliflower is way too 3D. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then you're just gonna sprinkle your cheese over top, and or you can have it just like this. You know, honestly, you could do so many things. You can roll it up in like make it a wrap. You could just roll this up and make it a wrap if you wanted to. So it could be anything. It doesn't have to be exactly a quesadilla. And if you wanted to do this, I kind of did this the other night on a pizza crust, and but with way different vegetables. It was really, really good. So you can just take this, and if you wanted to, another thing that you can do is just put it in the oven like that. And just put it with a little bit of heat over top, let the cheese melt, and then put the top on, or let the cheese melt and roll it up, or whatever it is that you want to do. So anyway, that's it. That's the little recipe for today. Oh, I see Manek here. Hey, I missed a few people coming on. Jane, hey. Yeah. Sometimes when the comments come, they kind of shine into the bowl, and I don't see everybody. So that was awesome, you guys. Happy Friday. Hope everybody has a really good weekend. And we will see you guys Monday morning. And yeah, have fun with food. Check out my Instagram, my YouTube channel, and we'll see you Monday at 11. Have a great day.